You're now tuned into the most authentic, unapologetic, and thrilling sports podcast on the airwaves. This is Fired Up Sports Radio, where nothing is off limits because political correctness takes a back seat and the truth takes the wheel. Presenting your hosts, the impenitent enthusiasts of the game, the sultans of Smack Talk Joe, Jeff, and Billy.
I know how much you love that.
The clap
know how
is
much.
So dumb.
Yeah. Well, get used to it. You're going to hear a lot of it.
Anyway.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, on this beautiful Wednesday. Happy Thanksgiving Eve to all the rookies going out tonight. Welcome to Fired Up Radio. Myself, Joe Algieri, along with my two illustrious co-hosts and cohorts, the one and only Jeff Scarola and Billy Punch. Gentlemen, good evening, and you ready for Turkey Day tomorrow?
Absolutely, but you hit the nail on the head with rookie night. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's rookie's night out. Terrible. I used to laugh when people used to ask me to come out for Thanksgiving Eve. It's literally like this is when every geek and nerd comes home from college, goes out to a bar, and it's like, oh, I went out Thanksgiving Eve and I got trashed. Losers.
I never went to college. Wasn't smart enough, basically. This was my favorite day. It was Thanksgiving Eve. It was my favorite day to go out. Dude, it was so easy.
Rookies.
It was so easy.
Yeah, because it also, for the girls too, it's like fishing with dynamite.
Yeah, well, it's funny because I went out one year.
Christina's not next to you.
No, she's. I locked her in the bedroom. I went out with my cousins, and we used to do it all the time. And there was that one time. It was me, my two cousins, Matt and Joe, and then a couple of our friends went out. So my cousin Matt was so blasted, and we got into a fight like in a parking spot or for a parking spot with a bunch of girls. Like and you know how I am. She started cursing at me, and then I kind of just did my thing. And we all know how I react to that. Later on, we see them at the bar, and I was like, oh man. I'm like, well, let's give it a shot. I wound up buying them drinks. They came to our table. They hung out. And then we were leaving. We say goodbye, whatever. We leave. I get back to we were somewhere out Suffolk. We get back to Queens where I dropped my buddy off, and my buddy said to me, he goes, "Do you think we'll see those chicks again?" I go, "Nah, probably not." My cousin Matt goes, "No, we definitely will because I stole one of their keys." He had the ring of keys, her car, house, everything. We had to drive all the way back and return them, and that was the worst because they called the cops and everything. It was a nightmare. But that was like one of my favorite stories to tell for Thanksgiving.
This is why we don't go out on Thanksgiving Eve.
No, it was fun though.
And I thought you had a good story about a girl with daddy issues or something, but Jesus Christ, this is where you went?
No. She could have. I have no idea. I only knew her for a few hours, but it was so funny. It was very funny.
Oh my God. All right. So, I mean, rookies, a lot of rookies in the NFL right now. So, I mean, tomorrow is like it's the national like football holiday, right? Like Christmas is basketball, Thanksgiving is football. All right, NFL is.
Correct.
Because then New Year's Day belongs to college football.
I like Thanksgiving. Like it's probably my favorite holiday.
It is.
Because it's football and food, and it's like my two favorite things in the world.
One thing I would say, Joe, the Scarola family is very thankful this year that the Dolphins aren't playing till Black Friday, so Jeffrey will not ruin Thanksgiving Day with one of his well-known
I'm still gonna have bets in. I'm gonna have bets in for the 3 games, so I can still ruin
not nearly the
that
same
holiday.
as.
Yeah, but it's not absolutely, Billy. I get you.
The Dolphins are on.
Yeah, you were pretty miserable a couple of weeks ago when
people have seen you live on camera during Dolphin games at 9:30 a.m.
Yeah,
no, it's not.
It was not a pretty sight. It was not a pretty sight. I was watching from a remote location, and I was cringing for you, Billy. I felt bad for you. You had to carry the show that day.
So did Christina.
Yeah, well, that's
Yeah, I was way more. Well, it's my team. Like I'm way more invested. I knew that was going to happen when I was like, "Oh, we got to do the show." I'm like, "But the Dolphins are playing early," and
The funny
yeah,
thing is, people don't know how bad it was before we even went on live.
Oh.
yeah, it was worse.
And he
It
was
was
screaming
worse.
at Patrick Mahomes as if he could hear him.
Yeah.
That's what made.
We should actually have like I'm going to start recording the pre-show to the show because like the content that comes out of there would probably A, get us canceled, and B is well worth the watch. It's crazy. But yeah, so 3 games. We have our normal 2, Detroit and Dallas. But Jeff, we're going to go off sidetrack a little bit. You said it's your favorite holiday. It's my favorite holiday too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck the football. What's the best side?
I'm stuffing, so I know it's like
okay, but like, are you like stovetop or like stovetop
yeah,
stuffing?
yeah. Well,
Okay, so
all
yours.
right, stovetop, but also my mother makes on scratch, which is really good. Nothing has beaten my grandmother's, who it's
No,
it's
nothing
Italian,
touches
little
great.
Italian
Yeah,
lady, so they make the
exactly.
best. They make the best. But yeah, no, it's I've eaten stovetop just like because it was like a fucking Wednesday like afternoon. I just make it. I don't care. It could be June, July, November. It's just I love it. It's great.
That
So that's
works.
definitely
Billy?
my favorite.
I
But you got
I am a
mashed
I am a
potatoes is another
stuffing
one.
guy. I'm a
Yeah.
stuffing guy. My mother-in-law
Yeah.
Guys.
stuffing is the absolute best. Funny story this year, my mother-in-law is not coming to Thanksgiving with us, and I'm not a huge fan of my stepmother's stuffing. It's just not my cup of tea. So
Hope
we're
she's not
doing
watching the show.
we're doing a Friendsgiving the week after Thanksgiving, and my wife goes, "Oh, we have to bring stuffing." Me being the genius that I am, I invited my mother-in-law to Friendsgiving and said, "Oh, and by the way, I need you to make stuffing."
Is that the first time in recorded history Billy and genius were put in the same sentence?
Definitely not. But we'll go with that if it makes you feel better.
I don't know.
Guys, how do you not go with sweet potatoes? Let me tell you something.
I don't like it.
I'm not a fan. I'm a mashed potato guy, man.
I am a sweet potato. Let me tell you, I can eat sweet potatoes every day. You cut them up, you slather it in butter, maple syrup, brown sugar, and it's just a diabetic's worst
I was
nightmare.
gonna say,
but I will
diabetes
fucking
and
eat
Yelp
heart attack.
breakfast, man. Holy shit.
Listen, I even warmed up today. There's a place by me. There's a deli for lunch. We went to. It's a 24/7. I know I'm gonna get trashed for the name, but the sandwich is called the Gobbler. Okay, it was fresh turkey, cranberry sauce, and stuffing, and it was fucking delicious.
Oh, I've had that. It's called a Thanksgiving feast in a place in the city. Delicious.
Yeah,
delicious.
Let's talk about another feast. The feast of the Green Bay Packers tomorrow. Detroit Lions hosting. Their record on Thanksgiving is not very good.
No, but they never had a winning record like this since 1969-ish.
Yeah, this is a different team. So I mean, Detroit saved me last week.
Yeah, well, you called them frauds. I
definitely called them frauds.
And I just said they're very good. They're just not playing very good right now, but they are a good team. I think their defense needs a lot of help. But offensively, they're up there. They're probably top 3 offense in football right now. They're always scoring.
Absolutely.
I'm glad to see. I'm glad to start seeing Gibbs. Because he was on my fraud list for a while. I spent
he
the
could
third
have been a
round.
fraud list. He just wasn't playing. Like the coach wasn't playing. It was weird.
Jeff's right. The best thing that happened to the Detroit Lions offense was Montgomery getting hurt and then being forced to play Gibbs, and that way they saw what he could do.
I like the 2 running back system that most teams are doing because it keeps the guys healthier because they do get hurt. Like after 4 years, they're pretty much done. That's why you just keep drafting new ones in the 3rd round, 4th round. But I like it because it can keep them fresh. Like in Miami, you have Mostert and you have Achan, which whenever he's back to being healthy, you had Zeke and you had Pollard, which I thought was really good. Another good one they had was the Giants had back in the day was Brandon Jacobs and Bradshaw. I thought that was really awesome. Like when you have
which
a
was
duo,
the lightning and thunder for the Giants?
It was Derek Water, Mod Bradshaw, and Brandon Jacobs. Earth, Wind, and Fire.
No, there was another one with Ron.
Bradshaw and Jacobs were Thunder and Lightning.
No, which was the one with Ron Dane?
Oh, that was Thunder and Lightning. It was Ron Dane. And...
Oh, so you guys just use the same fucking name for every pairing, apparently.
yeah.
This is Thunder and Lightning Part 2. It's like the trilogy.
Thunder and Lightning. This is Lightning and Thunder.
Yeah, it's fuck.
Whatever it is.
At least give them like different names. Jesus.
Ron Dane and Tiki Barber with Thunder and Lightning.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking Tiki Barber was probably the one.
Yeah, I knew it was. I knew Ron Dane, but yeah, no.
Earth, Wind, and Fire was Derek Ward, Ahmad Bradshaw, and Brandon Jacobs.
All three of which I could live without.
Hey, in 2008, terrible. Bradshaw and Ward both rushed for 1,000 yards.
But having Montgomery and Gibbs, I think, is really good. It keeps them fresh. I like it. I think they should do more of those. More teams should do that, but
I mean, if you really look at it, though, there's very few actually that don't do it anymore. If you look at it, the Giants are Saquon, the 49ers are McCaffrey, and the Chargers are Austin Eckler. I can't really think of. They miss Josh Kelly. They miss Josh, but not as frequently as you see some of the other guys. I feel like. But I think that
split time, man. They get hit the most.
I feel like more and more teams like there's not many I can name that are down to one. Even the Titans even use Tajay Spears quite a bit now.
Yeah, and if you notice, it's the same formula, right? It's that bruiser, and then it's got like almost like that, that receiving scat back, like Houston's got Pierce, and they got Singletary. They've been leaning on Singletary a little bit more now with Pierce being out, but Singletary was usually their third down back, their receiving back,
And actually, I stand corrected. If I'm being honest, I feel like Isaiah Pacheco was a little more featured than most other running backs in the NFL. Jerick McKinnon hasn't been doing much of anything all season.
Yeah, no, it's but yeah, as far as the offense, it's wild. They're starting to see, Goff has been a little bit more loosey-goosey with the ball last couple of games. He went I think if he started the season with however many attempts in a row without an interception, and then the wheels came off the bus for a little bit with him. But, I definitely did call them frauds last week. Thanks for shouting me out on that. I really did. I called them frauds.
You did.
But listen, I had very substantially good reasons for calling them frauds. Substantially good reasons.
Well,
but they unfrauded themselves.
Yeah.
And by the way,
you gotta let the boys play.
And you'll notice in about 30 seconds what I said pre-show that I didn't want to jinx it, I did.
Do you want to tell us what it was now?
Yeah, you'll hear it.
Yep, and there we go. Here we go again.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to be able to get through one. I was going to be able to get through one.
No.
Yeah.
It's the same people as usual, or no?
No.
I won't let you go further. I don't want you getting beat up.
I don't. That wouldn't be the case anyway, but that's just besides the point. So Jeff, I got it last week watching the worst coach in football, not named Robert Salah, Brandon Staley. He's obviously got to be on his whatever you want to call it. This has got to be his swan song, right? Because this guy does not know how to manage a clock. Blew another game against the Packers.
No, I don't see him. I don't see him. Well, he might get through this year, just because they don't want to.
They don't want to pull a Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, and honestly, it's not even just Staley. I mean, it's mainly Staley. He sucks, but it's not just Staley, but it's the whole team. The whole team is letting Herbert down. So I think there's a few passes. Like there was one to Keenan Allen he missed. I'm not going to hold that against him, but that whole team has let down Justin Herbert. It's not good, man. Like he's very good. He's very, very good, and he's just on a really, really bad team with a really bad coach. And they have the names, like they have the team, the talent, but
there was so many drops. Like that drop by Quinton Johnson at the end of that game. That was, I mean, you would have almost thought you were watching a Kansas City Chiefs game.
Yeah, it was bad.
It was.
They're a bad team, and they're coached terribly. I mean, Brandon Staley's not going to have a job by the Tuesday after the season ends. There's no, if he makes it to Tuesday.
Yeah, no, I think he'll make it. I think he'll make it past through the season because it's whatever.
I don't think they're going to fire him in season. It's the same him and Ron Rivera. I look at both of them as same, to be quite honest with you.
No,
they're both going to finish. They'll finish the season, but after that, they're done.
This is a chance for, I think, Belichick going to L.A. I
was just going to say that.
He's got a good – I've said in the past, I want him to go to the Commanders, but that's my heart. My head is saying he's going to L.A. He's got the quarterback there. He's got talent.
Running back, yeah.
He just needs – they need a good leader.
But the biggest thing there is the only way it's going to happen is if they give him full control. He's not going anywhere that he does not have full control.
I give him full control. That's not even a question.
He's not. I don't know their situation with the GM there. If I'm being totally honest, how they feel about him.
Dude, I'll be honest.
But he's bringing in players. The GM, he got him. He
not the right one
Herbert.
Apparently.
He got Keenan Allen. Quentin Johnson has been a little He got Eckler. He's brought these guys in.
But what are they doing? They're not doing anything. So you got to.
They're a poorly coached.
So if you give the reins to Belichick and let him just do his thing with a quarterback, I think that's good. Then, Rivera's got to go. He's just his time's passed, and that's where the enemy can get the chance finally to head coach. And maybe that was the deal when he went there. I don't know. Maybe
but the difference there is now is a new owner. You got to remember. So everybody
he wants someone new in there. He isn't.
Yeah, I don't know. Done. That might actually work against him being a part of that staff. I think Bieniemy could get a job after this year. I think we could see Bieniemy in Tennessee after this year because I think Mike Vrabel's out as soon as the season's over too.
I said that. Last week. I think that Belichick to the Chargers scares me a hell of a lot more than Belichick to the Commanders. Just because he's got the weapons there. He's already got the quarterback. He's got the running back. He's got the wide receiver. He's got a solid defensive line. He's got a decent squad there. But Billy, before the show, you were talking about the San Diego Padres are going completely off the rails right now, but how their GM has lasted beyond 5 managers.
5 coaches.
The San Diego Chargers GM has been there. Tom Telesco has been there for Los Angeles. It's still California, whatever.
I have a follow-up question when you guys
11 years.
And
11 years.
And you know why he's there for 11 years? Because he knew he got the quarterback right. He had Phillip Rivers. He transitioned into Justin Herbert. He got the quarterback right, and that's the key to the NFL. And the one thing that most of all that scares me about Belichick to San Diego to LA is the possibility of Josh McDaniels coaching.
That was my follow-up question. If Belichick goes to LA, does Joshy boy, does he go? I mean, he's done. He's not going to be a head coach ever again. I don't think he deserves. Listen, some guys are just coordinators. Like you're just a really good coordinator, and you should just be the best goddamn coordinator you could be. Some people do not transition to head coach very well, but they go back to the coordinator, and then they're great again.
Bieniemy is one of them.
We don't know that though, because he's never gotten the chance.
Yeah, but Mike, listen, guys. When it looks like a duck, talks like a duck, and walks like a duck, it's usually a duck. Right? It can't be that this guy has been passed over so many times.
He may not be a good interviewer. I don't know.
Yeah, well then, listen, I mean, unfortunately, that's part of the job. Jeff, when you went for your job, Jeff, when you went for your job, you didn't have to you had to sit down, you had to talk to them, right? If you were to
general manager, not fucking assistant manager.
I understand that, but it's still it's relative to the position. If he can't interview, you know what I'm saying? An owner's probably looking. I'm like, you can't fucking pass an interview. I'm going to put you in charge of my fucking team.
Maybe
like,
he does. Maybe he's just not better than the other guys. So I'm saying, like, we don't know. I'd like to see him get a chance.
So my question is this: let's look. All right. So that's what you're saying, right? Let's look at the teams that he interviewed for this past season and the coaches that they chose. Was he not better options than more than half of them based on their current stature?
I mean,
like who?
I don't know.
Let's see.
Look at your Colts. They were doing damn well before Richardson got hurt. I mean, you can't blame anything going on with the Colts.
Yeah, and I can't blame them. If he went to Carolina, I can't. I think Frank Reich was a good choice for them because they could bring in a quarterback. He was a quarterback. You know what I mean? Like he was a quarterback coach. I mean, that was probably the right move for them. I think Bieniemy needs I think he can take a quarterback from a draft and make him good, but if it's not his choice or he doesn't have a say in it, then I wouldn't do it. So that's why I think Carolina was probably the only place he could have went, but I don't think it was a good situation for him.
So since 2022, okay, Bieniemy has interviewed with 14 teams for a head coaching job. The Broncos, the Texans, the Eagles, the Jags, the Falcons, the Jets twice, the Chargers, Lions, Browns,
with the Jets,
Giants, Panthers, Bengals, Bucks, and Dolphins.
All right. So we'll knock the first one right off the board right now. The Broncos blew that decision hiring Nathaniel Hackett over him. Because let's be clear, Nathaniel Hackett doesn't belong coordinating in Division III college football. I am convinced Aaron Rodgers calls his own plays at the line of scrimmage.
Well, that's what it is.
And that's why it looks like he's successful in that offense, because it's really Aaron Rodgers calling his own offense. The same thing Peyton Manning did with Adam Gase. And that's why Adam Gase looked competent.
Went there.
Well, you got to remember, Peyton. Sorry. Peyton Manning's offensive coordinator was Tom Moore. Tom Moore was the offensive coordinator.
Adam Gase is the guy that everyone that's Peyton Manning's the guy that says no, Adam Gase he's legit.
Peyton Manning's the one that
he
told
made
the Jets to hire.
Yeah, the quarterback whisperer.
That's what it is, and you have guys like that, like Nathaniel Hackett. Like they only hired Hackett because they thought that Rodgers would follow because it's his boy, and that wasn't the case. Now it was the case in with the Jets, but. I think that's why they made a stupid decision on that, thinking they can bring him in, and that wasn't going to happen. Bieniemy doesn't have that. He doesn't have he's like, oh, become me and Mahomes, Mahomes ain't leaving. You know what I mean? Like it's not like that. But that's why I don't know. I think he hasn't gotten a fair chance, and I think the team that's going to give it to him is going to be the Commanders because
you're
he's
actually
set up
right.
perfectly. Ron Rivera is going to go, and it's usually just bump one guy up, and I think that's
you're right. You're right though, because if Patrick Mahomes ever got to free agency or demanded a trade the way that they said that he would, I could see him going, "Oh, if you hire Bieniemy, I'm in. Bieniemy's getting that job." You're 100% right.
Yeah, and you know what big move I'd like to see? I would like to see Harbaugh go to Chicago
to coach an OS.
I think that would be awesome.
To coach an OSU quarterback and wide receiver.
Yeah, that's if they keep him. It's if they keep him.
Listen, Fields didn't look bad last week, guys. He didn't.
No, Fields is not the problem there. It's Eberflus's offense that's the problem there. It's not Fields.
I'm gonna backtrack a bit. I think it was last week I said I don't think Eberflus is. I think he's going to stay. I don't think he's staying anymore.
I told you. I said you were wrong last week, and I'll say thank you for seeing the light now. There's no shot Eberflus lasts through this season.
I'd be shocked. I would be shocked if he survived. And it's not because I don't think he's doing a good job with the quarterbacks or anything, because Justin Fields has gotten better since he came in. But he's a defensive guy, number one, and their defense is it's gotten better since.
Listen, that's a bad. A loss like they just had this weekend against the Lions.
No, that's a bad
loss. That's a bad loss.
it's a great loss for fans because number one, you watch Justin Fields play and he played great. Then you were in the game the whole way and you made it exciting all the way to the end, and then you lost. So now your draft pick, you moved up. It was the best case scenario because now Eberflus will probably get fired. Your team holds a higher draft spot because they lost. They were in it the whole time, and Fields looked really, really good. That is best case scenario for Bears fans right now. Best case scenario.
Right now, the Bears would hold the 1st and 4th picks in the draft. Currently.
Yeah, it's great.
I mean, listen, if I'm them,
And
not
you
for
give that to
nothing.
Harbaugh?
So, all right, now I'm gonna pitch. Listen, we're all into the fantasy life, right? You're the Chicago Bears sitting here right now. Okay, let's just say you get Jim Harbaugh.
Mm-hmm.
Bring him in. Now you have the 1st and the 4th pick.
Right.
Am I off base thinking that if they draft Marvin Harrison Jr. 1 and Brock Bowers 4, that team is not completely revamped?
I think that would be an awesome move. I think that would put them in. It depends how they feel about Justin Fields. It all depends on that. Now Harbaugh is a run it down your throat kind of guy, and I think that's what I'm saying. Like I would love, and that's what Chicago football is, man. It's just hard nosed running the ball, like just jam it down your throats. That's Bears football.
Oh, 100%.
I would love to see a Harbaugh coach there, and then you get a nice little defensive coordinator in there. You got the players kind of set. They've been playing way better defense the past few weeks. I don't know. I think that's such a great place for him if he leaves, which I don't know if he's going to.
I don't know because
all
this
scandal bullshit. I feel like it's he's not fighting the suspension.
Because he's got everybody fighting for him. Now he's going around like Michigan's America's team. He's got Dave Portnoy calling out everyone.
He's a Michigan
every
man,
team.
though.
Yeah, but it's crazy.
I'll give you a better one, Joe. I'll give you a better one. Say you're the Chicago Bears and you're sitting at 1-4. The Giants need the quarterback and call you for the 1. And you take the Giants 1 this year, the Giants 1 next year, and one of the Giants' 2 second-round picks, and you move down to the Giants pick at 5, and you walk out of you let the Giants go 1 and take the quarterback, and walk out of the first round with Marvin Harrison Jr. and Fasanu, the offensive tackle from Penn State, plus another number 1, and now you have 2 second-round picks.
I don't know if I'm Chicago, man. I want to collect. The thing. All right, so we all know when you have number 1 picks and you have like more than one of them, like it's great if you have the first round pick and you're pretty high and you just want to keep collecting them, right? Like it's like I would collect them like they're infinity stones. Like I would just keep bringing them. And it's not the fact of having them and using them. I don't want to use them. I want to kind of get more.
Okay,
have them.
Yeah.
So
okay,
that's that wouldn't be a bad move.
It's such a Belichick move.
But here's my thing. Report came out today that the Giants are dead set
on DeVito. I wouldn't blame him.
Well, 100%. Tommy DeVito is their future. Listen. I will tell you this.
Tommy
Cutlets. Before I get to my point, if nothing else can be taken from the last 3 weeks by the New York Football Giants, okay, and you know that I have absolutely no semblance of respect for that team, okay, I will say this: that coaching staff has shown that they are able to put even a quarterback like Tommy DeVito in a position to win games.
He looked good.
Unlike
some good fucking shots,
100%. Unlike the New York Jets coaching staff, who cannot seem to get, their quarterback play anywhere remotely close to a guy who still lives at home and eats mom's chicken cutlets.
Tommy DeVito has played.
Tommy
DeVito has started.
Believe me, if I could still do it, I would.
If my parents let me stay with them and get my mom's chicken cutlets every day.
Oh, absolutely.
You have no idea how good my mom's chicken cutlets are. Like you have no idea.
Listen,
I would do that in a heartbeat.
There's a trend going around like on social media right now, and it says if someone told you that you could live in their house for the next 20 years and not pay for anything and have all your food, everything, and all you had to do was take out the trash, would you do it?
Sign me up tomorrow.
and everyone's
No.
like, I gotta go call my mom.
Nope, sign me up.
God.
But all you need to know about New York football this year is this, and I'm talking Jets and Giants only. Tommy DeVito's made 2 starts and has the most touchdown passes of any quarterback that plays in MetLife Stadium this year.
No, 100%. And like you could see it, like the kid, they put him in a position to win. But going back to what I was saying was the Giants have. I don't know if it was said publicly or it was someone from inside the clubhouse. Their goal, they're viewing the draft order right now. They want to get ahead of the New England Patriots. That's the one team that they're looking at that they want to jump ahead of because they're afraid that they're both looking at the same guy. And every mock draft, no, it's going to be a quarterback.
I think it's Drake May. To be honest,
I think it's Drake May, and possibly Bo Nix is moving up this. He's moving. He is definitely moving up the rankings of the quarterbacks. And I'll be honest with you,
Bo Nix is moving up, and Bo Nix is going to continue to move up because I honestly think right now the Heisman's a 2-person race between him and Jaden Daniels.
I mean, you can't discount.
Yeah, you can.
Phoenix.
Jaden Daniels going to win it. Guys got video game numbers. Video games.
It's crazy. Listen, there were some. This is probably the deepest. I mean, guys, think about it. When's the last time you saw a draft that you had this many quarterbacks? Like, not to say legitimate, but very good quarterbacks.
Yeah. You're 100% right.
I think the last one I can remember, and it's not even like because we don't know what they're going to be when they get here.
Of
but
course,
the last
you never
one
do.
I remember, I believe it was I want to say Jameis Winston, Mariota, Tannehill.
That was some draft.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying.
I remember that.
It was like the hype was all there, and it was like this is gonna be the best quarterback draft ever. And I mean, I'm not saying like the guys had decent careers. They weren't like huge busts, but they had decent careers. They're all still playing.
They're all. That was the 2015 draft.
Yeah.
But
because there was.
Getting back to what you were saying, Joe, the Patriots and the Giants. The thing about that though is you're worried about them at the dinking now with Belichick still there. What happens when Belichick leaves and there's an organization switch in philosophy? Like you could have somebody coming in that's Caleb Williams is who I want to build my offense around. It's a very.
I think anyone who's
good, man.
I think that anybody who drafts that kid in the first round should be fired on the spot. As they hand him.
Would you stop?
No, I don't.
Stupid fucking takes. You're so wrong. He can throw. He can throw the fucking ball.
That's great, he makes so many bad fucking decisions.
He's good. And if you're telling me, he's not a first rounder, you're so fucking stupid. You cannot say that he's not a first rounder. You are.
I don't think he is.
Dumb.
I don't think he is.
Oh my god!
Jeff,
there you go. Your stupid hot takes. Such shit.
It's not a hot take.
Stupid fucking take.
It's not, Jeff. It is most definitely not. Look at the progression of this kid from the beginning of the season. Everything was everything.
Dude, they get bored. They get fucking bored.
No,
they throw the shit around. He knows where he's going. He knows he's a top fucking 2 pick. He knows it.
Yes.
You know what? Let's check. Where's my good friend Mel Kiper?
Mel Kiper has Caleb Williams ranked number 1. I have it right here.
Thank you. Boy, it's not the way you thought that was going to go, was it?
I still don't think. I just don't. I don't think.
Well, you wanted to go to your boy, and your boy agrees with me.
That's fine. He can agree with you. You both can be wrong. He also has whatchamacall. He also has
never really wrong. Billy, am I wrong?
Yeah, I know. Billy
right?
happens to Billy likes to say it 37 times a show.
That Jeff's right because Jeff's right. Thank you, Billy.
Stop it,
Billy.
We're gonna
Jeff, right?
I'm gonna bring back the Jeff is dumb T-shirt.
No, we need a hashtag. Thanks, Jeff.
Yeah, after he goes
No
number
one-
one overall and becomes a good goddamn
Yeah,
quarterback.
No, I think honestly, I think Drake May's going to be the better pro, but I think they're both going to have solid pro careers.
I think the best. I think the
North
best.
Carolina. It's just the only thing that scares me is North Carolina. That's it.
Well, what's his face came out of North Carolina?
Sam Howell,
Sam Howell. He seems to
Yep.
be,
Trubisky.
you know, is Trubisky out of North?
Yep.
I thought he was out of
He was
Duke.
North Carolina.
He is.
North. All right, so 1-1 so far. So we're North Carolina's at 50% in productivity.
It's like
Good.
a
Thank
USC
God,
quarterback too, but this
thank
one's
God they
just
shut
really
your
good.
mic off. But yeah,
No, it's not. It's on.
No, I know, but for like
Oh,
3
you want me
seconds
to
it was
turn it
silent. Yeah, for 3 seconds it was silent.
And the same thing you're saying
This is
about
my
North
call button.
Carolina, and we're talking about North Carolina quarterbacks. It's the same thing that's going to work against Caleb Williams, because let's be real, the USC quarterbacks since Carson Palmer haven't had the greatest track record in the NFL
Well,
either.
they always
He
the
did.
old adage always used to be, you don't draft a quarterback from Alabama, USC, or Ohio State. CJ Stroud is slowly starting to turn. I don't know, slowly, but he's changing that perspective. Currently in the NFL.
There are two other guys by the names of Tua and Jalen Hurts that could put up an argument for that as well, my friend.
Oh yeah, I forgot about those two
Yeah,
guys.
at least Alabama's we're
Yeah.
showing up. To
Yeah,
I mean, I don't say we like Alabama. I am not an Alabama guy.
Nick's pushing out the quarterbacks in his old
I'm a
age.
Tua guy.
Yeah, I mean, we'll get into Bama later because I couldn't tell you. This is the first year in a while I couldn't tell you one person on that team. Not a soul do I know on that Alabama team. But all right, you got me all friggin'. I don't even remember where we were now. You got me all fucking flustered. You got me all flustered here.
Thought you said you
right.
were right, Spider. You
think-
mumbling.
Yeah.
You
stuttering
think
jerk.
it's easy to be this right? You know what? It takes a lot out of me too to be right all the time. It's boring. I hate being right all the time. I try and be wrong.
I thought Ray was.
It's
home.
just so hard. It's annoying.
Oh God.
Yeah,
I didn't realize.
it's a lot of burden. The whole. I don't like it.
Yeah, I didn't realize Ray was on the show today.
He's posting NASCAR podcast. Leave him alone.
Just saying. I don't. I mean, I'm right.
And we got to go with the. What about the division battle tomorrow? A little 4:30 in the afternoon. Washington at Dallas. How do we feel about that one?
It's
They're always
it'll
going
be
to
a
play
good.
close, though. I'm going to say it's going to be within 3 to 4 points.
I don't. You know, and last week showed me something with this Dallas team. I get it. It's Carolina. I get it.
Suck.
They do. Carolina's terrible. And real quick, I want to just finalize my point with what I was saying. With news of that coming out, that the Giants want to get a hold of the Patriots, right? Any sort of tampering going on, considering that they play each other this weekend?
Nah.
Nah.
No,
Bill's not that kind of guy.
just saying, just strong.
Not that
strong,
kind of guy.
strong. No, I don't think Bill's going to go out there trying to lose the game. You know, but you know,
Hey,
Just,
okay,
let's all be thankful that we don't have to watch Mac Jones throw a fucking
I was
ball.
gonna say maybe we could ask Bill his opinion on Alabama quarterbacks and see what he has to say.
he is not a happy man. He is not a happy. Well, listen, it's Zappy time. It's Zappy time there. But yeah, as far as Dallas, last week against a bad Carolina team who I think is trying to lose. Okay, it is what it is. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is this not the first time in the past 3 or 4 years that you're seeing a Dallas team that has that edge, that keeps looking for that knockout blow? Like Dallas has never played like this. I
don't know,
haven't.
man. I look at Dallas, and I don't say this because I'm a Giant fan. I have to see them do something in the postseason before I will give them any type of compliment, because they remind me of their football's version of the Yankees over the last decade. It's Oh yeah, they'll get there in the regular season. They'll show you a little something. They'll do just enough to win. They'll give you a reason to change your mind, and then next thing you know, you get to the playoffs, and you know what it is? It's the same old shit. So until they stop producing the same old shit when it counts, I can't change my opinion on the Dallas Cowboys.
Now, everyone's throwing the word fraud out a lot. So let's go through the Cowboys wins, okay? Giants, Jets, lost to the Cardinals. Patriots got blown out by the 49ers. Chargers, bad. Rams, bad. Lost to the Eagles. Giants, bad. Panthers, bad. So if you want to talk about a fraud team.
Oh, no. Listen, I'm not saying they're not.
But they're not scaring me at all.
No,
I don't
but
think that they have any edge. I just think that they happen to play. You know, they're beating up the bad teams and they're losing to the good ones.
Well, I mean, that's what teams are supposed to do. You play who's on your schedule.
Yeah, but
right?
you're getting blown the fuck out by like good teams. You're not like playing, good games against good teams. You're getting your ass whooped against good teams.
Well, no, listen, they lost by 5. The only real beating they took was San Francisco.
The 49ers.
That's really
only Super Bowl team, and they whooped the shit out of them.
They lost to Philly by 5.
That's a division game. I never count those. They're always when you're playing a division game.
Then obviously there was the Josh Dobbs coming out game, against Arizona.
How good is he?
Their remaining schedule is going to tell you really quickly if they're frauds or not. They get Washington this week. Then they got Seattle, Philly, Buffalo, Miami, Detroit, and then they finish at Washington.
Yeah.
That is a fucking murderer's row of a schedule.
Yeah. It's almost as tough as the Bills. I mean, the Bills have something really, really close to that.
All right. It's a
kind of a put up or shut up kind of, end of the season part of the schedule. It's either we're real or we're not, and you're going to find out.
Yeah. So real quick, not to cut you off. So the thing that I was jinxing about is that I film from the rec room in my building, and there's a pool table here, and I've yet to get a fucking episode in without someone playing pool. But now I have this old guy here who's not even playing pool. He just emptied all of the balls on the table and is just hitting any random ball into another ball, and now just left.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, that's just what it was.
Maybe it was practice.
Yeah.
For what? What is he? Was he on the fucking pro billiards tour?
How do you know? If you turn on the TV and see him on there.
Did you ask him?
You're exactly.
No, I didn't want to engage in conversation. I don't like people.
Well, that's your loss. He could have been a really nice man.
Yeah. He could have been nicer than you.
Yeah.
Anybody is nicer than me.
He just could have said, like, if you went, hey, you practicing, he'd be like, oh, I'm sorry, you recording? I can leave. It's no problem. But you didn't even bother. I
think it's pretty apparent that I'm fucking recording when I'm literally screaming on purpose to make it awkward for him while he's playing pool.
I need 8 more points by a certain somebody.
Shit, what you need, okay? Screw your parlay.
Yeah, well,
it's great for me and Jeff to have to listen to the combination of pool balls and you yelling. I mean, that's always fun.
And you being wrong all the time too. That also does not help.
Sorry, Jeff. You're right.
I am. Thank you. It's not. I was blessed. I don't tell you. I didn't ask for this. Thank you. Apparently, I'm 22.
Yeah, the crowd went wild.
I feel like we're taping an episode of Family Matters when I hear that shit.
I know it's so bad.
It's so 1980s sitcom.
Bad. We could get like a real soundboard. I think we might get a real soundboard.
Yeah, no. One day we'll be in front of a live capacity audience, and it'll be real people cheering for us. Boy can dream.
Maybe in a bar.
Yeah, whatever.
It's not a bad idea.
Not a bad idea. We can do it. Last game on the trio, Niners, Seattle. This, for anyone that's been following us, I called this game in week 3. This is the 49ers' whole season. right here, this game right now. This is the game. Because this is the toughest matchup, in my opinion, on their schedule. Going into Seattle, Brock Purdy has looked a lot better. He was on the fraud alert for a little bit.
Can we say top 10?
I think he's fallen out of.
I'm saying it. He definitely moved his way back up.
I'm going to say he fell out of the top 10.
Nope, not me. I think he's still in there. I think he did leave, and I think he's back. And now it's amazing when you have like your left tackle, your all-world left tackle who's healthy now. You know, I don't think it was all Debo. I think Trent Williams is I feel Trent Williams is the piece. If he's out, that offense is not going to run as nearly as good.
No,
but
well,
I think he's top 10, and I'm not afraid to say it.
Yeah, I think Brandon Ayuk is.
You know what pisses me off about him? Nobody talks about him in a number one receiver kind of level, and he's up there, man. He's
absolutely
he's good. He's a number one.
I drafted him in every one of my leagues.
Yep, he's good.
Yep.
See, now this game has the potential to be a big one, but we need to find out if Geno Smith and Kenneth Walker
he's
are
healthy.
playing.
No, Kenneth Walker is out. This is the Zach Charbonnet show, baby. I've been waiting for this kid. He's been sitting on my bench for 11 fucking weeks. Welcome to the show, kid. This kid was awesome in UCLA. I went into every fantasy.
He's about to meet Bosa and Young.
Yeah, I went into every fantasy league and drafted 3 players: Ayuk, Charbonnet, Jalen Warren. Those were my 3 targets in every single one of my drafts.
I like Ayuk a lot. I know Ray likes Ayuk too.
Yeah. That's why I didn't want to draft him, was because he liked him. But
I liked it. But anyway, I think it's funny because I don't remember how the cycle works, but there's a cycle of like McVay owns Shanahan. Shanahan owns Carroll, and Carroll owns It's like a weird thing. Like if you look at their records, that's how I try and decide who's going to win the game or not. I think Shanahan owns Carroll, so I'm going to say San Fran.
Oh, I like San Fran either way, especially if Drew Lock plays. Everything I'm seeing right here says Geno's going to give it a go, but I don't know how that's going to work, especially guys, Bosa, Chase Young. He takes a couple of hits. I don't know how long he's going to last out there. I think the 49ers are a better team regardless of who's playing quarterback for Seattle, but I don't know. It's looking now like Geno's going to play according to everything that's out there.
Jeff, you have it backwards. The San Francisco 49ers are 17-30 versus the Seattle Seahawks. And head coach Kyle Shanahan has only produced 2 wins out of the 10 times he has faced Seattle counterpart Pete Carroll. The last time the Niners beat the Seahawks was December 29th, 2019.
Okay, so Carroll owns Shanahan. And then Shanahan owns
McVay,
and then McVay owns Carroll. Maybe that's how it. I know there's some weird trio thing that works there, and they just kind of like eat each other. Like that's. I forgot how it goes.
Kyle Shanahan is 9-4 versus McVay.
Okay, and then McVay versus Carroll.
And then
like
McVay
8-5.
And then it's
not as much of a blowout, but he does win more. I want to say 8-5
versus Pete Carroll. You said right?
Yeah,
10-5.
10-5. Okay, so there you go. So yeah, that's the rotation. It's weird, but it works.
Yeah. And Arizona we just leave out because they're a useless franchise.
Because they really don't beat anybody.
But they've been
they don't have like that same.
Listen, Kyle Murray,
they have a different rotation.
Two games in, Kyle Murray has looked really, really good.
That offense looks dangerous with a competent quarterback.
Now imagine imagine they didn't get rid of D-Hop.
I was just going to say the same. You're 100% right. I was just going to say the same thing.
I made it.
Yes,
Yes.
Yeah.
Fucking A.
I'm going to laugh if he falls out of the chair right now.
Fucking A, I made it. Yeah, bitches.
Feels good, right? Now imagine that every day of your life, every minute. That's how I feel. It's
okay.
How does your head fit through the fucking door when you leave in the morning?
Sideways.
You're such a dick. You really are such a dick.
While we're on this topic of Joe talking this, and the word used here does make me think of Joe. I gotta bring up to you guys Tom Brady on Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah, I wrote that down.
The first sentence out of Tom Brady's mouth was, "I think there's a lot of mediocrity in today's NFL."
He's not wrong. Did you hear the rant? His rant was spot on.
And it's awesome. Like, I could read it. I think there's a lot of mediocrity in today's NFL. I don't see the excellence that I saw in the past. I think the coaching isn't as good as it was. I don't think the development of young players is as good as it was. The rules have allowed a lot of bad habits to get into the actual performance of the game. So I just think the product, in my opinion, is less than what it's been.
Now, yeah, I was gonna say let me know. I'm gonna try and play it. Okay, do me a favor. Let me know if the sound's really bad or not, or if it's like gonna. But this is him talking about it, and he's not wrong. No, he's definitely not wrong.
There's a lot of mediocrity in today's NFL. I don't see the excellence that I saw in the past.
Why not?
And
why not?
I think the coaching isn't as good as it was. I don't think the development of young players is as good as it was. The rules have allowed a lot of habits to get into the actual performance of the game.
Mm-hmm.
So
and we lost Tom.
In my opinion.
No, I think we lost Jeff too. Oh, there he goes. He's back.
Did you hear it all or no?
No, they're both gone.
They're gone. All right, so we have at least 5 minutes apiece. Oh, he's back.
Yeah.
But I mean,
I was out.
Yeah, you were out.
We lost you and Tom at the same time.
Yeah, I've never been so happy in my life.
I got to be honest. I think Brady was spot on there.
I
I think he was spot on.
No, he's not. He's not wrong for sure.
know. Billy, tell me he's right.
Who? I said Tom Brady was right.
See?
Tom is.
Now I don't feel as special. He's throwing out your rights to everybody, and this is bullshit. I don't feel special anymore.
I gave you credit for mediocrity.
Yeah, it's true.
Speaking of mediocrity, Matt Canada is fired.
Yeah.
Matt.
There are parades. There are parades in Pittsburgh. This is gonna be the best Thanksgiving ever.
Yeah, especially at the Pennell household.
Happy.
Dude, they were chanting Fire Canada.
Especially.
If you've ever seen it on Pat McAfee, he plays it wherever they do it. They were chanting Fire Canada at hockey games.
They want him gone.
It's like the newest phenomenon.
I think it was JMU. They were everywhere. It's crazy.
Yeah, dude, nobody.
That JMU guy was sick, by the way.
They've still been outscored every single game this season. I'm sorry, outgained.
And yet they're 6-4
every single game. I mean, they have an offense. You have, Najee's, he's a little off this year, but you have Warren. Okay, so you have two, legit running backs. Then you have Pickens.
And
a little bit of a headache.
He's gone. But
we lost you.
You were gone.
Why?
I don't know.
You're gonna have to fix your Wi-Fi, buddy.
Dude, I have no problems with my Wi-Fi. I have no issue.
It had to be because you froze and you were gone.
Yeah.
We were both here.
We're fine.
That's great.
So
I don't really care because I think our recording, since we're in three separate areas,
and he's gone again.
Mine gets loaded up the same way that I'm looking at it.
That
you guys are frozen now.
The Pittsburgh Steelers have way too many weapons to be this bad offensively.
Joe's got a weird face on.
Najee's a dud. I think Pickens is kind of given up on the season because he doesn't want to play there anymore. So you got Deontay. You lost Freiermuth early.
He's back. Listen, he's coming back this week.
Yeah, but this is, if in the grand scheme of things, guys, this is pretty historic. This is the first time the Pittsburgh Steelers have ever fired anyone mid-season. They've never done it.
No,
that's when you know shit.
You got to be that bad.
That's when you know shit.
How fucking bad are you that this guy Tomlin was like, all right, listen, it was get out. Right before the holidays, okay, it's Thanksgiving. Yeah, get the fuck out.
Yeah. Go help your. Go help make food. Go help a little bit earlier.
Listen. Go help. Go wash the dishes. Do something, but you're not going to fucking coach my. Listen. I really don't think Kenny Pickett is the guy. Regardless,
I don't think he's bad though. I don't think any of this is his fault though.
No, I don't think it's his fault, but I also don't think that he's as talented as they may have thought he was. He was really good in college. Obviously everyone remembers him for that fake slide play that he pretended to go down and then he proceeded to run for a touchdown, which then they changed the rule because of that. I think that was an emotional draft pick because he was a Pittsburgh kid who played in Pittsburgh, and now, Ben Roethlisberger just left, and he was going to be the new face of the Pittsburgh Steelers. But I would not be surprised to see Pittsburgh in the conversation for a quarterback this draft. I
don't think they're ready to give up on him yet.
I got a name for an offensive coordinator in Pittsburgh, and if he does get hired, I'd like to see him take a shot with Kenny Pickett and see what he get out of him, and it's Byron Leftwich. To me, I see no reason Byron Leftwich is out of the NFL right now. Byron Leftwich likes to throw the ball, as we all knew. I think he could resurface in Pittsburgh next season, and I'd like to see him take a shot with.
Didn't he play in Pittsburgh?
He did. He was there as a back. He was backed up Roethlisberger there briefly.
Yeah, listen,
maybe a season or two.
But you know what it is, and this goes back to our Bieniemy talk earlier, right? I think that Byron Leftwich didn't get the respect that he truly deserves as a coordinator because he was the coordinator when Tom Brady was there.
Exactly.
So it's kind of
like
a
Super Bowl with Tom Brady,
right? And it's like, okay, how much of it was really you and not the greatest quarterback ever to play the game? And yes, I did just say that, even though I think it's Peyton.
I think
all right. Brady had the better teams. Manning was the better quarterback. We could discuss that for days. I'll gladly discuss that with anybody. Brady had the better teams and the better teams around him, and obviously the better coach. But
see, I had this argument earlier today with people.
Talent-wise,
here it is. This is my argument with everybody. Brady had like the whole Brady Mahomes thing going on. Brady had Moss. Okay, Mahomes had Hill. Brady had Gronk. Mahomes has Kelsey. But other than that, Brady made the other wide receivers because anyone else that went anywhere didn't really have a good career. They did nothing. Brady made receivers.
I wouldn't say he made Edelman. Edelman was.
I think
pretty...
he did.
Yeah,
Edelman was
he absolutely did. He absolutely did. And I think, to be honest with you, what did he have? Randy Moss for what? 2 years?
That's what I'm saying. He had one guy.
I think Marvin Harrison's career and Reggie Wayne trump anything that Brady got out of anyone else. And I also think Edgerrin James was probably the best running back between the two teams in those 2 periods of time.
I mean, you could probably put what's-his-face in that list. He's right there. Though we caught him on the tail end. You got to remember, Corey Dillon went to New England as well.
Yeah.
So Corey Dillon was... But that no. You guys are confusing what I'm saying. I'm not talking about the cast. I'm not talking about the cast because
you said he had the better team around him.
Yeah, I thought that's what you said.
I'm including guys. There's a defensive aspect of it too. You guys are forgetting that
you're very defensive.
Oh, absolutely.
No, you're forgetting that he had a defense with fucking Ty Law, Teddy Bruschi, Mike Vrabel. He had a stout defense.
No, he had the better defense, no question. But offensively, you can make a very big argument that Peyton had better offenses than Brady.
But I'm going to say that physically, the game itself, the way it is played for the position of quarterback, Peyton Manning played the game better than Tom Brady did. He from his audibles to his throws, everything.
He was king audible. He's king audible.
Fucking Omaha.
Yeah.
Let's call an audible. Let's call an audible now and take a little commercial.
he would audible his audible. Like he just loved fucking.
Would you
doing
say
it.
Jeff? We lost Jeff again.
Why do you guys
Jeff,
keep
when you come
losing?
back, just know that we're going to be on a commercial break. We'll be back in just
I don't know
a few.
why.
Yeah. Use this commercial break to figure it out. Okay.
There's nothing to figure out.
That's right. Black Friday sales on jrapparelshop.com. Thank them for sponsoring the show. As always, some new apparel. As you could see, the gentleman, for who those watching us, new apparel.
If we're
Check it
gonna
out.
video, I don't know if we're gonna video this, but either way, we
maybe I'll
got
put some.
bunch of shit.
Worst case, I'll make sure to clip it up and put it on TikTok, YouTube, and Instagrams, just so the people could see your beautiful
or you can
faces.
just go check it all out. We have everything up
Yeah,
there.
you do that too.
The best
On
part
the
about
website
this,
too, firedupsportsnetwork.com. You can go right to the shop. It'll take you right there.
the best
Absolutely.
part about this apparel is the guy that told us we should wear it for every show is the only one not wearing it.
Yep.
Yeah, the guy who said that too also got home from work 5 minutes before the show started. So, bite me. Okay.
That is true. I did have to spend those 10 minutes listening to him eat his dinner. So
you didn't have to. You could have muted. You could have shut up.
You could have muted.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway, all right. Baseball off season has started. Jeff, I know that you're very excited because your main
I love baseball.
part. Yeah, it's the greatest sport in the world. Anyone who doesn't like it is just stupid, literally stupid, because it's a cerebral sport, and it's I got into this argument the other day at work with someone. They're saying it's the most boring sport in the world. I said, obviously, you've never been to a football game live.
It's not for the unintelligent. You have to be intelligent to watch.
Yeah,
and really enjoy it. So
I said it. It's a cerebral sport. I could sit there all day, every day, and watch the game because there's something going on every second of that game.
Yeah.
But I mean, so far, nothing crazy to report. I mean, the big splash, I guess, if you want to call it, is Nola going back to the Phillies, which a little surprising. I didn't think he was gonna. I didn't really think he was gonna go back.
Over him.
I thought he was going to end up with the other two guys that signed in St. Louis. For some reason he looked like, Jeff, you keep saying it. He looks like a St. Louis pitcher.
He looks like a Cardinal. He just looks like a St. Louis Cardinal.
Yeah.
Again, it could be the red hat from the Phillies. I don't know, but he just gives that aura of Saint. I thought that was going to be the perfect spot for him. Although I think it is smart on the Phillies side of it to get him back. I mean, they may have overpaid a little bit. I mean, maybe there is just more recency bias because of how he was in the playoffs. He didn't have a great season. He hasn't had a great season, and it is a smart move because someone had said this on Twitter, and it made plenty of sense. Is the smart thing that Philly's doing right now is, you have a window, but you're bringing back faces that are familiar with the scene, and bring a guy like him back. I think it's good for the fans. It's good for because that place is crazy to play at, man. That place is fucking bananas. He got a lot of money. But I think it's because he's a horse. He goes out there every time like he's a horse.
That's 100% what it is, because the thing about him is his best ability is his availability. He's out
always
there. He makes 30 to 32 starts every single year. And that means a hell of a lot. He has a bit of a Brett Saberhagen thing going. I don't know if you noticed. He's bad in the odd years, good in the even years. So, with the way it's going now, all indications are Aaron Nola should be a Cy Young Award finalist in 2024.
You guys are frozen
Next show,
again.
I'm going to start a pun counter for Billy. I want to see how many he can get to during the course of the show.
I don't get this.
I get it. What? Pay your bill.
Dude, my Wi-Fi is on full.
That's what it is.
Nobody else is using it but me.
Well, maybe, what is it, Cricket Wireless?
No.
No, it's Optimum, you dick.
That's your first fucking problem.
I don't make these fucking decisions.
Listen, can I tell you something? You want to solve all your problems? Very simple. Go get T-Mobile home internet. It's $50 a month. You put it by your window. It's
No
5G,
free ads, dickhead.
and
No
this
free
will
ads.
never happen again.
No free ads.
No, T-Mobile's going to pay me for it.
Yeah.
I'm still laughing at the fact that the guy who said Caleb Williams won't be a first-round draft
I'll look
pick
into it.
wants to count my puns.
I don't know if it's going to make a difference, but I'll look into it for sure.
Yes, do that. I mean, I just don't understand the move. Like, I get what you're saying. Like, you have that window, but the whole point of the window is you have to, like, well, let me get back to the original point I wanted to make, because I don't remember who it was, but on one of our social media channels, when Billy, I believe it was you that posted, the Aaron Nola signing, turned around and said, "Oh, our opening day starter just re-signed." Did Zach Wheeler die?
Yeah, it's true.
No, I get what you're saying.
I'm just curious because there is not a fucking time ever in the planet that I'm starting Aaron Nola over Zach Wheeler. Just not ever happening.
Yeah, no, that
Ever.
was Wheeler should be the opening day starter, but I don't know how you can't understand it because this is a win now team, and the only other move free agency wise that a team like this could make, there were two guys, Nola and Yamamoto, and they say they're still in on Yamamoto regardless of signing Nola.
I think they're blowing
Ohtani's
shit.
not for
I don't
them.
think it's true.
They can't waste a year without the Ohtani the pitcher. So he's not an option for them. That leaves you top of the rotation wise. Like you said it last week. I thought it could be possible. You disagreed with me. The only other guy after that is who? Sonny Gray? I don't think Sonny Gray. The more I think about it, Sonny Gray or Blake Snell, I don't think they're the right fit for Philly. So it leaves you with Nola. It leaves you when you're looking at those three guys of Nola, Gray, and Snell, you go with the devil you know. And I don't think they were
I was
wrong
just
for
going to
doing
say,
it.
it's the devil you know.
Yeah, I get it, but guys, it's like hold on, because again, I could be completely off base here.
He was a Cy Young finalist 2 years ago, or top 5 or 6 in the Cy Young.
I mean, guys, so listen, 23. All right. Last year, 12-9, 4.46 ERA, 1.5 WHIP. The
Good
year
postseason,
before, that's great. The year before, 11-13, 3.25 ERA, 0.96 WHIP. So obviously a little bit better, right? 21, 4.6 ERA. 2020, 3.28, 3.87. His most outstanding year was 2018 when he went 17-6 with a 2.37 ERA and a 0.97 WHIP. The guys had over a 1 WHIP and basically over a 3.5 ERA. He's 30. There's a lot of reasons why I don't think this was the right move. You can't listen to me. We have to start. We have, not only us as fans, but teams have to stop making decisions based off of emotion. The "what have you done for me lately" mentality is so dumb because you've seen people get burnt by it so many times that, like, in their contract year, they fucking light the house on fire, and then they progress back to being like shit or like average. I just think that Philly could have used this money way better suited elsewhere.
I think it was the right move because, like I said, you know what you're getting with him. Now, like I said, your window is right now, like in the next maybe 2-3 years. So at the end of this contract, it might be. It's not. It's AAV.
It's a 7-year contract,
horrible.
Jeff.
Right. It's not horrible, and he'll be 37 at the end of this, maybe, or something right around that.
Yeah. But
okay,
that's what I'm saying. Like, how many pitches are
you're winning? You're going to win now, and the guy did really. He did a solid job in the postseason. So
no, I get that, but
I don't know.
But my thing is, you have so many. You have so many other
it can't be your
glaring
only
holes.
move. You got to go higher than that. It can't be your only move. I get that.
No, I know that, but like my thing is like I would have taken that money.
See, Billy,
like for me, if I'm the
who's
Philadelphia,
frozen now?
Nobody.
I got Joe. I got you good.
it's you.
No,
I'm fine. I'm doing the one.
I kind of like this. Joe's frozen. Can't say a word to me right now, which I love.
I could hear every word you're saying.
To me, the only holes I see on the Phillies are in the bullpen.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
yes, I agree. The bullpen's the issue. But like, my thing is, you can't stop. You can't stop at just Nola. Like, I think going after a Sonny Gray or Eduardo Rodriguez, that would be a good one for them. Put right in the rotation.
I just think that Aaron Nola shouldn't have been your first priority. If I'm the GM of the Philadelphia Phillies,
I still got Joe frozen. He hasn't come back yet.
I'm calling Josh Hader's agent, and I'm not getting off the fucking phone until the deal is done.
I can understand that, but I haven't heard a single thing linking them to Josh Hader.
No, I don't. I haven't either. But that's my point. Is like, I also haven't heard, Billy. Man, you guys have been on this 24/7, and I commend the dedication to with you guys on the baseball front. But I also haven't heard Josh Hader's name.
No, it's not
anywhere.
It hasn't been all that. It's been quiet so far, but I don't see, like, the Phillies don't make that big move in the bullpen, and I don't know why. I've never been able to figure, like, look what they did last year. They brought in Craig Kimbrell, who was dog shit before that. I mean, had a great career, but those years are gone. But this is what they do. Like, when they're going back out there with Sir Anthony Dominguez again.
But are they really all in with Alvarado as their cat? First off, they do have a legitimate closer in their bullpen, but they're not utilizing him as their closer, because you have Gregory Soto in that bullpen, who was a top tier closer in Detroit. And I thought that was a key move for when they moved him, but they moved him into like a 5th, 6th inning role. Like, it didn't make any sense to me. That guy should not be looked over for Alvarado, Sir Anthony Dominguez, or Craig Kimbrell.
No, you're right. It makes sense. And to be honest with you, I expected to see the Phillies doing things kind of like what the Braves are doing right now. The Braves just signed Ronaldo Lopez to a 3-year deal. They traded Kyle Wright for Jackson Kowa, who's a former number 1 pick. And,
he was. Okay, so I wasn't going out of my mind. He was.
Yeah, no, Jackson Kowa was in 2000. I think it was 2018. He was a first-round draft pick. And then they traded Mike Soroka and Jared Schuster along with Nick Lopez and 2 other guys for Aaron Bummer. They went out and stocked their bullpen, even though the rumor is, depending on what they signed starting pitching-wise, they're going to move. They may try to stretch Lopez out as a starter.
They already said no. Lopez is 100% a starter.
So
he's going to be a Michael King.
They're gonna try to see, but these are the types of moves I would expect the Phillies to make, like going out and taking shots. Like the Braves last year, they went out and got Pierce Johnson from Colorado at the trade deadline, and they turned that guy. They got a guy with a 6 ERA. He came in from Colorado, and I think his ERA was under 1.
Well, listen, Pierce Johnson was the closer in Colorado.
Yeah, but he had a 6 ERA. But then he came into Atlanta, and whatever they did with him, his ERA was under 1. I think that's what they're looking to do again with Bummer and Kower. I think they believe in these guys, and they see something. I mean, they got to believe in Bummer. You just gave up 5 guys for him.
Yeah, but they really didn't. Listen, Billy, let's call it what it is. You didn't give anyone up a substance. Soroka was the only thing of substance in that deal.
Jared Schuster's been a top prospect in a Braves organization that shits out prospects, if I'm being totally honest.
Now think about that. every one of their prospects, they have seen to fruition where they brought to them they let him go way too easily. So something shows me that maybe he doesn't have it. But something that Jeff and I were talking about earlier today, I think, and this goes back to a comment that you made last week, I think that a lot of teams are starting to formulate their team similar to the 1998 Yankees.
Absolutely.
They are gonna. You're gonna see these bullpen guys get contracts beyond anything that we've ever seen, because I think that the whole goal right now is they are going to, especially with this pitch clock, and they're seeing how the pitch clock is affecting the starting pitchers, and now with the analytics of not going through a lineup more than twice, these managers want to shorten the game to 5 innings and get into that bullpen.
And that's exactly why I said I would love to see the Yankees shine Hader and move everybody up and shorten that game. Because even take the analytics out of it for a second, just pure logic for 1 second here. If Michael King's a starter for the Yankees next year, which all indications are he's going to be given that chance in spring training to be a part of the rotation, how many innings you think? Michael King's not going over 120, I don't think.
No, but
I mean,
that's the thing. You don't need him to go over 120.
I know, that's what I mean. That's my point. He's got to. That's why they need those relievers when you have a guy like that that's not going to go past there.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's. I just, for me, I think the Phillies went on emotion that Nola had a fantastic a postseason, but there's no way that I'm giving this guy 7 years, $170 million. I just don't think that he should have been the priority. I think that the bullpen, there's glaring needs on this team. Okay, this team, if I'm not mistaken, Schwarber, isn't he a free agent this year as well?
No, Schwarber's still there.
Or is it next year that Schwarber's gone?
I think Schwarber has definitely another year, maybe 2. But another thing with the Phillies too, there's a lot, and another reason why they may have done what they did is there seems to be more at the top of the rotation starting pitching available via trade than there is free agency. And the Phillies, I don't think, have the farm system to make those trades. I don't think the Phillies have what it's going to take to get Tyler Glasnow or Corbin Burns or Dylan Cease or Shane Bieber. I don't think they have what it takes to get those guys. If they do, they probably have to take it off the major league club, which they clearly don't want to do at this point.
No, listen, I get that. I good, and I'm glad Jeff is back. Jeff, can you hear us? Hi. So we just started talking about Glasnow, and I know that you and I were talking about it.
Oh, yeah.
But Jeff, I mean, you're the resident Mets fan, right?
Yeah. Last
year, all like I said, all I kept hearing was write the check. Is it demoralizing at this point, for you as a Mets fan to hear your owner and GM basically come out and say, we don't plan to be competitive in 2024 because we're focusing on 2025. And
they never said that. That was never said.
Well, I don't know. I'm basing it off of the reporting of
They never said that. They expect to compete.
Billy?
They expect to compete in 2024, but the focus is towards the future. And you have Max Scherzer and other guys come out and say they were told straight out when they left the team that they're looking to 2025 now, and that's why they were traded.
Yeah, and did you think that maybe they just said that, and then all of a sudden they just reload up? I don't see him sitting on his hands and not doing shit. I don't see him giving all this money to Stearns and doing shit with it. It just doesn't make any sense. He's gonna spend. They like Yamamoto. They love Yamamoto. And
no,
I fully expect
Everybody
them.
loves Yamamoto.
but the difference is
Is
Yamamoto makes
that looking
sense.
towards 2025?
Yes,
No.
because he's 25 years old and you're giving him a 5-year deal. So yeah,
You're out of
you're
your
going to
fucking
the
mind. You have no clue what you're talking about. They are absolutely 1,000,000% in it. They're in it to win it. They're gonna get free agents this year. They're gonna be over $300 million again. And then what? Then you guys gonna come back and say the same shit? No, you're wrong.
No, but they're not looking towards
Dude,
right
words
now.
mean shit.
They're
Words
looking
mean
to
shit.
build a
Actions mean
team.
everything. Actions mean everything. Words mean shit.
Tyler
That's the
Glasnow,
bottom line.
Tyler
End of
Glasnow at $25 million for 1 year is not the right move for this Met team that stands here today. It's not.
What is it?
Tyler Glasnow for 1 year at $25 million is not the.
If they went. First of all, they have the pieces to go get him if they wanted to. Number one. Number two, they're one of the only teams that can pay them for $25 million. And then,
But my question, to you, Jeff. But my question is he a piece that you need right now? The kid's always injured. At 25, yeah, but listen, I'd rather spend that money on Eduardo Rodriguez. I'd rather spend that money on Montgomery. I'd rather go out and make a trade for Dylan Cease, Shane Bieber. I'm not spending $25 million on Tyler Glasnow.
I'm taking Glasnow over Dylan Cease.
Oh yes, I would take Corbin Burns over both of them.
That would be such a kick in the dick to. Let me tell you something. That would be a real kick in the dick to the Milwaukee franchise. You lose your GM and then he trade and
Woodruff for the first year when he's hurt. Watch
well,
that.
Listen, that's a team that makes sense. I mean, I'll be honest with you, Woodruff makes a ton of sense for you guys because no matter what it is you are paying Woodruff to rehab for the first year. That's already been deciphered and whatnot. But I don't know. I don't think Glasnow is the move for you guys. I think that right now, to piggyback off of what I said with the Phillies, I think right now your main focus, unfortunately, you're going to disagree with me, is Pete Alonso.
I'm not going to have this conversation.
He's good. No, he's good. I'm not discrediting it, but Jeff, you need help in a lot of different areas, and I
don't know how many times I can fucking repeat myself with this. 45 home runs and 115 plus RBIs do not grow on fucking trees. This guy is part of the crew. He's in. He's gonna resign. It's gonna be for a ridiculous amount of money, but who gives a shit? It ain't mine. It's just this is the narrative that everybody's trying to pull. Pete Alonso's gonna go here. Oh, the Cubs like him. Oh, nobody gives a fuck. Nope, dude, he's not getting kind of money that Matt Olson's getting. He's not getting that kind of money. It's gonna come down.
I don't think he deserves. I don't think he should get the money that Matt Olson got. Only because Matt Olson is a Gold Glove first baseman, and Pete Alonso's defense is not exactly top tier.
Oh, it's not that bad.
You're not paying Pete Alonso for his defense.
Let's be Gold Glove than he's not. Let's just say that he's gotten way better.
I'll be honest with you. If I'm the Mets, the move I'm looking at is I'm putting Alonso as a DH and getting myself a full-time first baseman. I think your team would be better suited because who have you been running in the DH spot? Vogelback?
I guess that wasn't my fucking choice.
I understand that, but my thing is this: you don't think that your team is better suited with Alonso as a full-time DH? Let him just fucking whack the ball 100 million miles an hour, okay? And put a guy
being a DH, you know that, right? Like they have to play. Like they're not good DHs. If you look at people's like everyday players' numbers when they're DHing and when they're playing, it's a lot of it's drastic, especially power hitters. It's very drastic. They're used to being in the game. It's just like that's where they're focused on.
But they're also.
I disagree. I think having him as a DH would be ideal, but I don't think he's a horrible first baseman. That
I'm not saying horrible, but I think that there's a couple of first basemen out there that defensively would upgrade your infield.
There are much bigger issues. There are much
your deal, maybe.
Who?
Jorge Soler.
Jorge Soler. DH for the Mets. I wouldn't. That's not that bad.
He's a perfect fit for that team. But there are a lot bigger issues on the Mets than Pete Alonso's defense at first base. Let's be
Bullpen sucks.
No.
They need.
yes.
No, I get it.
The Mets are another team, like I said about the Phillies before, that should be out there making moves like the Braves and strengthening the bullpen in front of Edwin Diaz.
All the bullpen. That's what they need to do. The bullpen's dog shit is so bad. So bad.
I just hope Diaz comes back to what he was. You know, like
he's the least of my worries.
No, but you never know how. Listen,
him at half is still goddamn good.
I know. Like, listen, a knee injury to a pitcher is, especially a power pitcher like him. You know, it's definitely going to be.
I'll say it right now, honestly, my opinion on the Mets: if the Mets signed Soler and starting and bullpen pitching, I would consider this a successful offseason for the Mets.
Dude, they're not as far away as people are thinking.
I'm agreeing with you. I'm saying that if they were just to turn around,
I'm not saying you're disagreeing. I'm just making more of the point.
Yeah, if they
and by making the point is saying they have Senga, who's obviously good, right? Let's say I don't have any doubt in my mind that Yamamoto is going to be in Queens. The only other two places I think that have high interest, like the Mets, are the Yankees and Boston. So either way, it's going to be an East Coast team.
Which is surprising. Which is very surprising.
It is. But like
usually the West Coast teams fucking.
It's the whole West Coast in Japan. Like I don't think there's much into that as much as people think it is. Like Heyman came out and said Yamamoto prefers to be on the West Coast. And then like 2 days later, he goes, Yamamoto does not care which, if it's the East Coast or what. Like, dude, like he's the worst. But
they always said that just because it's a quick trip home. That's really all it is.
Right. But like, it doesn't make a difference if you're going over the fucking sea to come watch. Like another couple hours isn't going to kill you.
All right,
you know what I mean? Like I just never Daisuke Matsuzaka. Who they have now?
Kagawa.
Huh?
Kagawa.
Yeah, he's another clown. But
Tanaka. Tanaka.
Yeah, I mean the Red Sox. They have
Yoshida.
Yes, Yoshida. They have Yoshida. You know what I mean? Like you have.
Listen.
I mean, like I don't think East Coast West Coast really fucking matters. I think.
No, you got what's his face in
25 mil. He's fucking taking it.
Yeah, you got what's his face in Chicago, Suzuki. You know,
Jeff, I got a hypothetical for you that just really, to me, I find it intriguing. And if I am David Stearns, I'd make this move depending on the price tag. You get a phone call from the White Sox, and they're offering you Dylan Cease and Eloy Jimenez
to cut out and be frozen.
You making that move?
Wait, say it again because you guys froze.
I said,
perfect timing for you to say.
I said you get a phone call. If the White Sox are offering you Dylan Cease and Eloy Jimenez, you making that move?
For?
To me, it depends on the package. You tell me what you would give up for those guys.
Well, if they're getting rid of them,
now mind you, Cease has 2 more years of team control, and Eloy has 3.
If I'm a GM, if they came to me and said, "What can you give me? These are the players. I'm willing to move." That to me, that is low level top prospects because they're not looking to win right now because they're getting rid of 2. Let's say 2 guys who have at least 3 years of eligibility.
Cease has 2 years team control. Eloy has 3.
Okay, so you have team control for 2 years and 3 years. So you have 2 young guys. So my thing is you're not looking to get slightly younger. You're looking to get young and just rebuild. So I would say it would probably take about 4 AA and less top prospects. Am I making that move? I don't know. Eloy's always fucking hurt, man.
Well, when he's fucking on, he's on, man.
Well, yeah, when he's on.
It's.
If you had to include Ronnie Mauricio in that trade,
I don't know if I'm making it. I feel like I can spend money and not give up like any prospects. I feel like I can get a left fielder, no problem.
I mean, listen, the left fielders. I mean, right now, left fielders available. You have a couple: Lourdes Gurriel, Jock Peterson, Tommy Pham, Michael Brantley.
Teoscar
Because remember,
Hernandez.
the Mets have
Eddie
a double and triple A guy like not too far off they got from Houston. And they're outfielders. You know what I mean? So if I'm getting somebody, I'm getting a stopgap. I don't have to go and get like a young guy. I can get a stopgap right there.
But you could also take one of those guys still and put Eloy in your DH spot and maybe help limit some of those injuries as well.
Possibly.
Yeah,
I don't know if I'm making that move though. I don't know.
So
I don't think
Billy,
I am.
So Billy, it's actually funny that you.
We're going to send out.
So it's actually funny that you said making a scenario, and I have one for you because now the rumors coming out. Blake Snell's camp is petitioning that whatever team signs him brings Gary Sanchez along for the ride.
Why? Buddies?
Apparently, when Gary got there, they had he likes the way he catches him or whatever the kind of thing is.
He did all of a sudden like turn shit around. Like he was on his way having a real shit season.
It does make some sense in a sick alternate universe, but
so my question to you is this: is Brian Cashman gets the phone call? Are you welcoming back Gary Sanchez?
No, because I don't think Brian Cashman's in on Blake Snell. So I don't even think it's. I don't think the Yankees are even discussing Blake.
That wasn't my question. My question to you is, if you're making the call, you know what I'm saying? Like Brian Cashman calls you, Billy, this is what's on the table. Are we pulling the trigger? Are you bringing back Gary Sanchez?
No.
And I think it's a very simple answer.
No.
I think the fucking answer is hell fucking yes. Hell fucking yes.
Well, just for the pitcher, right? Like,
no, I'm going to take Gary. Listen to me. Gary Sanchez is what he is. You know how you say Pete Alonso is a fucking 40 home run guy? Gary Sanchez is a 20 to 25 home run hitter from the catcher position. There's not many catchers in the league that are giving you that number.
True or false? Alonso's defense is better than Gary Sanchez's defense.
Listen. My son could tell you yes on that. But that's not. But Gary Sanchez's defense was much better last year while in San Diego. There's
nothing in the immediate future that could tell me Gary Sanchez is even the slightest bit prepared to return to the Yankees. I mean, I see his numbers right here. He had 218 with 18 homers and 46 runs batted in 72 games for the Padres.
That's not bad.
No, it's not.
That's not. But I know it's sick that we're saying 218 is bad. But there was a month stretch he carried them.
Yes, I think Gary Sanchez is at the point in his career where it's like kind of like the Sonny Gray, where they just had to get out of New York. They're settling in out of here. I don't think it's a good fit on either side.
Well, let me ask you guys something. Do you think it has a difference because in San Diego he was in a bigger ballpark, so he wasn't trying to pull it or trying to blast it over the fucking 300-foot fence?
No, I think it was the atmosphere.
Do you think it would make a difference if he went to Yankee Stadium?
I know. I think it was the humbling of him getting traded out of New York. Because the worst thing that could have happened to Gary Sanchez was that year coming up, when he got called up and he set the world on fire.
Yeah.
The bar was set to the fucking highest peg that possibly was, and the kid was never able to live up to it. And the problem is that the New York market will eat you alive. Listen to me. If you tell me going into next season that Gary Sanchez is a starting catcher for the New York Yankees, I have absolutely no problem with that because he is better than Kyle Higashioka and he is better offensively than Jose Trevino. Bottom line. If that means that I'm going to spell him and Trevino, okay, and he's going to be Blake Snell's personal catcher, so fucking be it then.
I mean, the biggest issue I have with that statement, is you didn't even name the Yankees' real starting catcher for next year, Austin Wells. Austin Wells.
He's not going to come up yet. They're going to put it. Listen to me. He's not. He's just. It's
going to be Austin Wells and Trevino.
No, I don't think it is.
What happened to the other
that kid's Jack. Yeah,
Ben Rochevert.
yeah.
yeah.
I could never say his last name.
Is he not a thing anymore?
They definitely got to test him for steroids because that kid is jacked.
He looks like Saline, just like he just jammed Saline in his fucking.
Yeah,
he's a big
wild.
boy.
Yeah, I like again, all hypotheticals. No other major signings. Today.
But
yesterday we had Lynn and Gibson to the Cardinals. Those are like pure Cardinals signings.
I like them both, but I think Lynn going back home. I like that. It's not bad.
I think this is his swan song.
Now, one thing I will say, yeah, me too. The news. Did you see the news that came out with Ohtani? How what he said was if the visits between him and the teams are reported publicly, he's gonna hold it against that team. So I don't know how the fuck you're gonna get this guy in and out of goddamn airports without somebody knowing. But to the New York Mets, shut the fuck up. Don't say a fucking word. I will kill somebody.
I am gonna go on Twitter and be like, just saw Ohtani leaving Citi Field. I'm gonna just start tagging everybody.
Yeah, he wants to keep it real. He wants to keep it real private.
From doing this, from saying, calling up John Hain, be like, "Hey, I got some news." Shohei's meeting up with the Dodgers. I don't know where, but he's definitely in LA with the Dodgers, and lets it out.
Yeah.
Would you be fucking
Well, listen. So if that's the case, hold on. If that's the case, then the Toronto Blue Jays are off the table.
They seem to be the big word these days. Is the Blue Jays? It went from the Cubs last week to the Blue Jays this week.
No, well, I'm saying based on that thing, that line that he just said about keeping it on the hush hush, then the Blue Jays are out because it was reported that he was out to dinner with all the big wigs for the Blue Jays and Kikuchi's family. He's going to hold it against them.
No,
I still think
that him and his agent.
I still think the Chicago Cubs is his final destination. And
that's a long shot. I think they're definitely running. I think it's a fucking long shot.
And it made me feel so good that Brian Pinnell had to come on our group page and admit that he was wrong because it came out that the Cubs were going to go all in on Ohtani.
But now here's on that subject. How long do the Cubs wait out of fear that they could lose Bellinger because they're waiting on Ohtani?
I think they know they lost Bellinger.
Yeah, I don't think Bellinger's going back.
Yeah, I don't think. I think they've come to peace that they Bellinger. For me, I think the bigger move at this point, and the move that it's starting to circulate now, is for all these teams, right, that are looking to get into the Ohtani sweepstakes. The move you have to pay attention to right now is who has the balls to pull the trade for Mike Trout. That's the move. That's the move I'm watching.
The bigger move is who will Mike Trout allow himself to go to? Because he has a full no-trade clause.
But that's what I'm saying is that whatever team he pulls the trigger to, you cannot tell me that him and Ohtani are not talking.
Oh, I understand that, but I can tell you right now, one place Mike Trout would 100% agree to go to in the right situation is the Phillies, and the Phillies don't have the money to bring in Ohtani.
They don't. But Trout will trade off playing with Ohtani for playing with Bryce Harper.
I don't think Trout would trade in going home. I'd rather go play in LA with the Dodgers with Ohtani than go home. I don't know about that.
Okay, look, I think the reason why Ohtani chose and this is just a thought. I think Otani chose the Angels because he says, "Okay, America, that's your best. I'm going to play with him, and I'm going to show you how much fucking better I am than he is," and just kind of like shove it in their face. I think he proved his point, and I think he is better than Trout overall. And I think that's why I think I don't think he gives a shit if they're playing together or not. I don't think it's a big deal. If Trout goes anywhere,
I think he'd love to do it. I just don't think it's logical.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Philly.
It's not logical for 97% of the teams in the MLB. There's only 3 teams realistically that could pull off that move. And that's going to be the Dodgers, the Mets, and the Cubs. I'm not putting the Yankees in that because the Yankees are not going to. Yankees, I don't think want to give up what little they have remaining in their farm system for someone like Trout. Even though Trout is fantastic.
They would have to send everybody. And they just were killed. They're like top 3 farm system, top 4.
I also think that the Yankees are focused on Juan Soto. That's me. I think their focus is on Juan Soto this year.
I think you're missing a team. I think you're missing a team in there, and it's the Boston Red Sox.
Yeah, the Red Sox. I never count them out, man.
I would never count them out. We know
they don't have the pieces to trade for trade, but they don't have the farm system to trade for Trout.
They have some pieces. They have some pieces.
I'm looking. So
Artie Moreno is not a smart man, so you don't know what you could talk him into.
Listen, you could. I don't care how stupid you are. Okay, I don't care how stupid you are. Artie Moreno will be run out of Los Angeles if he does not get a top-tier return from Mike Trout.
Oh no, I think he'll get something.
Guys, I'm looking right now. Okay, I'm looking right now at the Red Sox minor league system. Their number 1 prospect, the shortstop, outstanding. He's super touted. Probably will see him tail end of next year. Beyond him, there is no one to write home about. Everyone else is in single A.
Which is fine. That's fine. They don't need to they're not. I'm telling you, Rendon's he needs to shed some of that fucking salary, man. Like he's got way too much for a shit team, so he's got to shed it, and he knows he has to start over. It's the only way. If you look at all these teams, all the good teams started over. They started from the farms, and the Astros are like the best example of that. I mean, it's ridiculous what they're doing.
Yeah, but then my question to you, Jeff, is this, right? My legitimate question to you is this. Then why bring in Ron Washington?
The guy's fucking great with kids, man.
The guy was happily retired. You think this guy wants to come in
retired?
He wasn't retired. He was the coach of the Braves.
He was the Braves.
I know, but
he's better than
listen to me.
Major League dugout.
But listen to me. What was he doing with the Braves? He didn't have to really do anything.
Young guys like Acuna and Albies and all those guys had it. He's a defensive guy. He is the smartest guy.
What is he doing with the Braves? He was winning.
Perfect.
Yeah, he was sitting there watching them all right, this fucking team is good. Okay. All right, you guys do this now. All right, great. You guys are awesome.
I think it's perfect. No, if you ask Ozzie Albies will tell you he was the best fucking
listen, Ron Washington is awesome. I'm happy that he's back as a head. I think
I'm telling you.
I would have loved to have seen him take over for Dusty in Houston because I think that would have been a pretty unilateral move for Houston. But happy for the bench coach being promoted.
He needed.
Joe Spot. It was his time. He deserved that. They just kept it moving there, and that's kind of really what they do in Houston. They just keep it moving, and it works. Whether it's the coaching staff, the minor league system up into the majors, they're a team that just keeps them moving. They're like a train.
Ron Washington could have went to San Diego. I think he would have turned that shit around.
Oh, absolutely.
They can't afford to pay anybody.
No. They're run by the cartel, I'm telling you. I think that owner dying was a hit. I think that was a hit.
Well, rest in peace.
Fucking money out of nowhere, and then you can't pay your fucking bills.
Imagine.
Yeah, rest in peace to the San Diego owner.
Imagine that comes out. That would make a hell of the next Netflix docuseries. If it comes out, it was a cartel.
The fucking hard hits MLB. Well, it's a baseball
legitimately a hard. It's legitimately a hard hit.
Yeah, seriously. All right, real quick, let's get into college football. Big Saturday coming up, guys. Big.
Yeah,
big,
Ohio State, Michigan's gonna be my that's the matchup I want to watch.
I mean, this is so the rankings came out the other day. Ohio State, no, excuse me. It's I believe it's Georgia number 1, if I'm not mistaken.
Georgia's always number 1.
Yeah, number 1 in our hearts. That team is just a machine.
The they really are.
Yeah. Georgia 1, Ohio State 2, Michigan number 3, and Washington sneaking into number 4, right ahead of Florida State, who unfortunately lost their starting quarterback in a
another
gruesome.
guy that get drafted.
That's why, like earlier, that was the one name that Billy didn't mention, and I was like, you can't discredit this kid. This kid is very good, and I think that he is in. I really think that he is in the Heisman Trophy.
Michael Penix, absolutely, but he's third. He's third right now between Bo Nix and Jaden Daniels.
I think Jaden Daniels is the pick. I think Bo Nix will be the safe pick, but I think Jaden Daniels deserves it.
I mean, listen, he's the leading passer in whatchamacall. He really is. I mean, yeah. Let's compare the two, right? Penix to Daniels. Penix has got 120 yards more. He's got 6 less touchdowns, 3 more interceptions, and he's been sacked 13 less times.
All right, how many rushing yards does he have?
Let's see, rushing. I gotta see. Hold on. I have to open them up individually. So I don't foresee Penix having many, if at all, because he's more of a pocket pocket passer. Rushing, he has a total of a negative 5 yards.
Okay, and
do we have to look at? Do I really got to look at Daniels?
100% we do.
Fucking guys got negative 5 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns.
This guy's got 1,014 and 10 rushing TDs to go along with this. 36 touchdowns passing, 4 interceptions. So
my question to you is this:
touchdowns to interceptions total.
So
and
this could be
and triple threat, 1 receiving yard. I'm sorry, one reception, 5 yards, 1 touchdown. This guy's a fucking touchdown doing everything, other than maybe a kickoff return.
So he's the Shohei Ohtani of college football.
The first quarterback
Easy.
The first quarterback in LSU history to rush for 1,000 yards.
If you watch him, he's really fucking good. I don't know if he's.
I'll be honest with you, I haven't. I've watched every game. I have watched every game Washington has played this year. I was really intrigued by him because there was a lot of hype between him and Caleb coming into the season, and every game is so much. Listen, their defense is terrible, but he single-handedly keeps them in every game.
I mean, the one thing that could work against Daniels is LSU not making it to the SEC title game. So
but
this weekend,
it shouldn't be a team thing.
But this weekend,
award.
That's not what I was going to say.
Well, I'm just telling you.
This weekend against Texas A&M is his last chance before the votes go in, where Nix will have 2 more games to impress the Heisman voters, and so will Penix. So that could help them.
Best player, not the best opportunity. That's not.
No, I agree. I agree with Jeff. It should go to the best player, and I know a lot of people have the argument in other sports that the MVP shouldn't go to a player on a losing team. It's not the case. Shohei Ohtani just won MVP and his team was below 500.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
he is
So,
the best
how
player.
how valuable was he to that team? Would they have been 50 games under
Yeah.
500 instead of
Yeah,
40?
yeah,
And that's what we want to
Yes.
reward. That's why we reward mediocrity, and that's the bullshit behind it all.
Yeah, but
No,
hold on, but
Ohtani, hold on. Are you saying that Ohtani is mid?
No, I'm saying
Mediocrity.
that
That's
the
what you said.
system of rewarding players on last place teams is
he wasn't on.
Player.
okay.
the
So come
player.
out with a Player of the Year award and give it to him every goddamn year, and I'm with
He's
you.
the most valuable because without him, they would have won 20 fucking games.
Okay,
So yes,
And-
he's the most valuable. He
I
adds
don't
more
agree.
wins. He adds more wins to the team. Is that not
I-
valuable to the team? It doesn't matter how good you are, but if you add that much, if he adds 50,
And you can listen, Billy.
I
I
don't
get what
agree.
you're saying. Billy, I understand what you're saying, but this is the wrong guy to make that out. Not Jeff. Shohei Ohtani is the wrong guy to make that argument for.
and Jeff.
No, fuck
Look-
Jeff.
Look at the difference between the
It's-
two guys that won MVP last year. This year, one of them was on a first place playoff team, and the other one was on the Angels.
And
Yeah,
both the best players on their fucking team in like each league.
But Billy, my thing is this.
But again,
Is-
it's not the best player
They
award.
added the most wins. I'm sorry. They added the most wins. That's what it is. They added more wins than anybody else.
The fact
most
that
valuable.
the fact that we're fishing the basement for that is pathetic.
Fishing the basement.
Yes, we're fishing the basement to see.
So okay,
You-
so
You're
Billy,
out of your fucking mind, and you don't
So-
even deserve to speak about baseball ever again.
so Billy, I'm going to ask you this.
I am not saying he's not the best player. The MVP
The
award
most
is not
Valuable. That's what it is, Billy.
player
That's what
of the year.
Well, MVP
Hold on.
is the player. That's what it is. End of story. That's what it is.
Listen, Mike Trout won it for years being on a bad
And
team.
I disagreed with it every time.
Yeah, but you can't disagree that he's the best player in the sport.
Yes. No, he is the best player in the sport.
So that is the most
player.
That makes him the
It's
most valuable.
that is the most valuable player is the best player in that league, and that is Shohei Ohtani.
He's the most
Every
valuable
time.
player. It doesn't say the most valuable to the team. It says the most valuable player. How
Because
much do you
listen to
value
me,
Ohtani?
what he does on a regular season has never been seen before since Babe Ruth. And the fact that the only other
He's
person you
a
can
murderer,
compare
Babe
to
Ruth.
is
He murdered
Babe
his fucking
Ruth.
wife. Nobody wants to talk about that.
She really found out about the curse of the Bambino.
Oh yeah.
Anyway,
That's true.
yeah, but go back to the college football. So obviously this top four, guys, is going to change after this weekend with Ohio State, Michigan playing,
I
right?
don't know if it will.
I'm telling you,
No. It would
the
be
two
it would be
teams-
bad to take them both out of the playoffs. I think they both deserve to be in the playoffs.
I really think the two teams that you have to keep your eye out. Normally, I would say Florida State, but obviously losing the quarterback to a terrible injury. That was for anyone who hasn't seen it. Don't go watch it. It was disgusting.
Go take a look.
Really, my heart broke for that kid watching
All over
that.
the place.
I'm going to say it's going to be either Oregon sneaking in or our old friend who's lurking around, Nick Saban, with Alabama. Nothing would surprise me more than Nick Saban sliding in to the 4 spot, and this is the last year of the 4 because next year obviously it goes to 12 teams.
Wouldn't shock me, but I honestly think if it's a close game, I think the top 4 stays the way it is. If Ohio State Michigan is a close game,
That should be the right thing to do.
there's going to be a winner. There's going to be a loser. Game turns around. And it's 24-18. Say, I don't think it's. I think they both stay in the top 4. One team goes in there and gets blown out.
Number 2,
There's
number
gonna be
3
a-
ranked team. I agree. If you lose to a number 2, number 3 ranked team, you just lost. You lost.
Yeah.
I don't
Right.
think you booted out.
I mean,
of
if
the
you
top
go in
4.
there and get blown out 56-7, yeah,
That's a different story.
then a change is probably coming.
The only thing that I will say is that I would want to see done is change the order of the 4, obviously, because right now the way it stands, it would be Georgia versus Washington, Ohio State and Michigan in the 2 semifinals. I would like to see them break up the Ohio State Michigan semifinal and have one of those 2 teams face Georgia, because I would ideally you would love to see OSU Michigan as the national championship game.
It's probably going to happen because
that would be
the best
case. That would be college football. Everyone would just be sitting in a room, fucking cranking it. With the thought of that.
What's going to happen is the loser of the Ohio State Michigan game, best case scenario, is going to be the 4.
Right.
That's how it'll work. They're not going to lose and stay 2-3. You're going to have the winner stay 2 most likely, and the loser drop to 4. Again, provided it's a competitive game, as we said.
No, listen,
yes, that's my full expectation. I think it's going to be a tight one.
Who's Washington playing this week? They have I just saw that. Washington is playing. Who is Washington playing? Washington playing Washington State at home.
Washington's home.
What?
That'll be fine.
Yeah. They should. Yeah. Washington State usually a very good offensive team, has not been very good this
Normally
year.
you step up to your rival, like Michigan State,
but it's tough. It's tough to always show up for those big games. It really is.
No, it is, but like Kansas State this past week, that was kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But they always it's anything that's like in division like that. Like they always try and keep it close.
Yeah.
Miami versus Florida, Florida versus Florida State, Miami versus Florida State. That whole fucking trio.
You got that all tomorrow. Tomorrow, all 3 games, all division games. It's gonna be a tough slate this weekend. Football starts tomorrow. Can't wait. Very excited. Only a few more hours. So my favorite holiday, my second favorite holiday of the year. Nothing beats Christmas Eve.
Yeah, you got Washington and Washington State, and you also got Oregon home to Oregon State. So
yeah, I think they're, because if I'm not mistaken, is it this is the last week or is it next week?
Next week's the championship games.
So
the conference championships.
So I mean, we'll have a better idea of who's what on next week's show, so we can kind of break that down a little bit in terms of the Heisman race should get a little bit cleaner. Obviously the championship games will be determined after Saturday. Long weekend ahead of us, boys.
Georgia's playing Georgia Tech. Georgia ain't going nowhere.
One thing, listen,
exactly.
we're gonna end the show on this. One thing that I think is very cool, and I hope the NCAA puts it into thing. Texas A&M, big shout out to them for putting all the walk-ons on to do the kick coverage. I thought that was very cool. Way to give those kids an opportunity to get on the field. And I think that's something that should be, I think special teams should be designated to those guys. Let the walk-ons, let them earn, let them get a little game time, a little feel for the game. I thought that was a very cool move, even though
I'll wind up like that in that movie, Not Another Team movie. That was what it was, right?
No.
That's how they're gonna end up.
Decapitated, maimed.
Hero. Yeah, he's a hero. He's like split in half.
But yeah. So I updated, Jeff, real quick. I updated my Christmas list. I only have one thing on my Christmas list. If you guys are interested in getting it.
Otani's wrong.
No, it's not. I want to. I want a college football coaching job. That's all I want. Because even if I suck, they're still going to pay me. It's great.
Like Jimbo?
Yeah. Jimbo's getting paid $76 million to sit home.
It's great.
Imagine.
It's fucking hitting lottery right there. It's like hitting lottery right there.
It's better than hitting lottery.
Better than hitting lottery.
Well, no, you had to work a little bit for it, and then you had to.
You had to be really bad at your job.
Yeah.
I wish I wish I could be that bad at my job. Oh, God. All right, boys. Our first official episode, Fired Up Sports Radio, is come and gone. I think it's a great success. I think we're good.
Yeah,
So far, so good.
It was fun.
Yeah,
today.
definitely fun today. No robots today. No robots.
No.
But
No.
happy Thanksgiving to the two of you.
You too.
Yes, happy Thanksgiving
Enjoy
to
your
all.
turkey. You two enjoy your stuffing.
Go blue.
Absolutely.
And
Michigan.
bet the home
Enjoy your sweet
bet the home
potatoes.
teams tomorrow.
Go.
All the home teams tomorrow. All
We'll
right.
see.
I'll talk to you later, guys.
Have a good one, everybody.